Hi guys, this is Daniel. Today I'll be reviewing 90 centimeters cage from 2GR. They are called Article 420 and they come packaged two in the box. Okay, let's get to opening this. Okay, you can see them here. These are the cages themselves. Oh, like this. They come folded like this. So there should be two of each. Okay, so we got everything out of the box. You should have 4 backs because each cage takes 2 of these pieces. 2 dividers, 4 sidewalls, 2 of these rails. These go on top of the cage for the dividers, and 2 of these rails which go on the bottom. This part is for the divider to slide through, and these ones are for the grill and the tray. Okay, here we have 4 trays. Each cage takes 2. Here are the best purchase I've ever seen. They are of different diameters and shapes throughout, and they are orthopedic, I guess. They help our birds' feet not get sore from using the same diameter perch. Yeah, they at one side they have this notch, and on the other one they have this nipple. They come with some feeders, pretty standard feeders, and one nice thing about them is they also come with drinkers and handles. Each cage should have 2 handles because it's a pretty big cage. There's the grills, 4 of them. You need 2 for each cage. And here are the instructions, which if you're building this the first time, I suggest you read them because it might get confusing at some point. Both sides on. This is the lower part. And from the back. When it comes to attaching the sidewalls, of course they go like this with the feet pointing towards the bottom part. Here we have the cage upside down. So the wall is on. It has a few notches here that grab around, and then you have to snap it around this seam. So we got both sides in. Now we need to install this one. This one, as you can see, one of the sides is like this, and the other one has like a little loop thing there that grabs onto the cage. That one goes to the back, meaning there. It's in, so we hook that little loop here, and then we squeeze this one. Come on, focus. We squeeze this one in to the front. Okay, this part goes here. It has some snaps and it goes here in the middle. I won't be installing it because I won't be using the divisor. I'll be using this at flight cages and I won't be needing the divider at all, so there is no point in installing this and taking the flight space from the birds. Here we have the cage upright. Now we just need to install the rails. Sorry about that. They slide in here, but not between the these rails, but on top of the top one, and here also, and it goes to the back. This is so there is room for the tray to slide on the other ones. And here in the back, it's quite an interesting story. They have a snap thing, which you can snap the grill like this when you push it a bit from the front, and it doesn't come out anymore. And this is, in my eyes, it's a great idea to prevent it slipping and the birds coming out. Okay, we repeat the procedure for the other side as well, and we snap them into place. Oh, I missed that one. I have to make sure they are aligned. Yes, and yes, everything is in order. We have the tray, guys. As you can see, they have some small notches on the backs. That's so they can also snap in place. Make sure we put them on the right rails. That's also so they can snap in place back there. Let me see if I can get you a better view. See, like that. It's snapped into place. And what? Why is this not working? Yep, like that. See, and it should have. Yes, like that. Okay, so the tray, as you can see, I'm not pulling very hard. And now I pull too hard. Yeah, it should be pretty stiff, like it should not come out very easily. Okay, same on this other side. Make sure you're on the right rail and push. Yep, everyone's in. And that's how the cage looks. Now, installing the perches, you are kind of limited with only the holes that they give you, but trust me, that's plenty of options. I myself like to use the top ones, and the further back, being this one. You just insert the nipple into that hole, and then you have to pull a bit on the cage wire and slide this. This is hard with one hand. And slide it down like this, and it's in place and it's fixed and it's pretty solid. Okay, on this other side I'm gonna do it in the same spot exactly. Oh, this one went much smoother. See, that's why I did not put that in here, because I want my birds to be able to fly from this perch to this perch, giving them quite a lot of distance to flap their wings across. And then I'm putting some more perches, down here. I'm doing this so because if I have many birds that have a room to sleep, not because they necessarily need this many poles. Yeah. Okay, I got this wrong. I should put this one. Yep, let's go. Make sure they are straight. Right here, there's something I don't like. The perch is straight, but it hangs over the wire of the, and it's a bit crooked, and I'm not really comfortable with that, but such is life. Here you have the cage with all the accessories it came from mounted. The perches, the drinkers. The drinkers are pretty basic, nothing special about them. They are a bit wider than the wire, and in time it might get bent, but at least you know they are secure. See, they make quite a snap when they come in. They also come with this type of feeders. I have a small notch here to accommodate for the wire in the cage. That's smart design in my eyes. And they're transparent, nothing special, but the plastic is of a good quality. They don't feel like Chinese ones, cheap ones. I really like them. I won't be using these ones for seed. I'll just be using them for grid. These two ones will get changed for an automatic feeder, which I'll review in the future. This one will remain for grid. And right here they have a special feature which I really love. You can buy a separate it's like a tray, a rail actually, that snaps to those two holes, those square holes there, and you can feed you can feed actually a flight feeder, which is 39 centimeters wide, almost as wide as the cage, and that's good for feeding them softwood. And I placed an order for a few of those, but they did not come in, and I'll review those. They're separately sold from this cage, so I'll also review those one day, hopefully when they get in. I also installed the top part for you to see, and I put the divider in. They come with only one divider. It's a solid divider. If you don't want to use them like I do, like flight cages, you can use them as two. One cage would be actually two breeding cages. They can easily house a single pair of canaries. And one thing I like about 2GR in their products is that they really put a lot of thought in like everything. If you see here where the divider meets, if I want to pull it out, let me just focus on this. If I want to pull it out, it doesn't come out because it hits that that small notch there. I have to lift it up a bit to go over the notch, and that's a good thing because we're sure that it won't come out by accident or any stuff like that. So good job for that. The cage has 4 feeder holes, 2 handling doors. Each side has these smaller doors for the feeding trays, and they have each side has 2 nest doors. You can use them in 2 different ways. You can either put an internal nest right here and give you access to it, or you can just hang a external nest, and you have the options for 2, which is a great option in my view if you decide to use half of the cage as one breeding cage. The only disadvantage you have with this is that it cannot be divided in more, so you can have a place to wean the babies. One solution to this would be to buy an external wire bat and wean them there. I forgot to mention, they come with these plastic handles. They may look flimsy, but there's 2 of them because the cage is pretty big, so you would have a hard time handling it from the middle. They're pretty great. I moved my other cages around quite often, and they coped well. This is it for the cage. Overall, I'm very content with it. It's really good quality, the wire and the plastic. If you're thinking about purchasing one or two or more 2GR cages. This is the 90 centimeter version. There's also the 120, which is exactly the same but longer. I strongly recommend you do. Yeah, your canaries would love it for the space they have and especially the perches, but you will love it because they are easy to clean and easy to maintain, and they are very easily stackable. I'll come back when I get the other one mounted and I'll stack them so I can show you how they look stacked. Here's how you stack them. Their feet have special holes that will fit into the notch above the other cage. So you just slowly, without breaking them, with one hand, you get them on top of each other, and they should slide in very easily. Here we are in the boardroom, and here they are stacked. These are the two that I just installed. This is my old one. You can see I have it a bit differently configured. I have these feeders and I changed these ones for blue. I like them like that. And I don't really like these drinkers, but I dropped and cracked the other ones. As you can see right now, it's housing 7 Gloucester hens. 7 birds in one of these cages is decent. They have plenty of room. I just got more because I really want to separate the consorts from the coronas, and if I have the room, why not give them more room so the fighting will be decreased, because the hens are pretty vicious in Gloucesters. You can see them right here. Hopefully they don't get scared. They did. Yes. Yeah, and when there's 7 of them, they make quite a mess. I cleaned these cages 3 days ago, and that's what you'll get. I separated my hens like this. Here I have my buff green consorts hens. That's 3 of them in one cage. Here I have my cinnamon hen and my white hen, just 2 in the cage for themselves. And here are my corona hens, 2 of them. They have the cage for themselves. I changed the feeders to these blue ones. I prefer them. I put these smaller ones, blue ones. I'm gonna get bigger ones. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the blue team or keep them like they came with the transparent ones. These are the feeders that I used. I've given all of them. I just need to fill them up with seed, and in the blue ones they all have grape. Yeah, so this is how it looks. On my right there are the males, but that's a video for another time. Hope you enjoyed. This was my first YouTube video. Hope you liked it, and I'm waiting for comments for improvement. And yeah, thank you guys. Bye.